I'm here in Qatada 11 in the Zambezi Delta area of Mozambique. This is an incredible area here. It's an amazing ecosystem made up of lots of different systems. We've got the forests, you've got the open pans, and then of course you've got the floodplain. That gives rise to a huge variety of wildlife, and the wildlife here truly is teeming, but it hasn't always been that way. The civil war in Mozambique, coupled with some chronic poaching, led to an almost total demise of all of the wildlife in the area. And thanks to Mark Haldane and Zambezi Delta Safaris, this area has come back as one of the most wildlife-rich areas in the whole of Africa today. Qatada 11 is a hunting block. It's protected by hunters' dollars. It owes its success to hunters' dollars. And the main business model, the source of employment for the local people, is all the hunting model. I'm here to meet Mark Haldane and really to look firsthand at how the entire success of this operation rests squarely on the shoulders of his exceptional anti-poaching initiative. So here we are, Qatada 11 skinning shed. Morning, Mark.
Morning, Ivan.
How are you, man?
I'm all right, and you? These trophies here represent the crux of my anti-poaching. You know, Ivan, this area hasn't always been like that. When I got here in '94, there was very little game. There certainly wasn't enough game to make this a viable operation. When we started here, the Delta had 1,200 buffalo. Today, over 20,000. In most cases, we've reached our carrying capacity. So now we are repopulating neighboring areas outside our borders. So in virtually every case now, our carrying capacity has been reached.
And what do you think that's from, Mark? What's the overriding thing that's protected all of this game, that's preserved this ecosystem, or brought it back, if you will?
Well, I think the number one thing is our anti-poaching.
Yeah.
It's absolutely our number one. But our number two thing is getting our local community involved and seeing a value in these animals. You just see a buffalo skull there, but from that buffalo, several $1,000s go back to government for a license fee. Of course, it's my living, but quite a large part of it goes straight back to my anti-poaching.
And so, Mark, like each of these species, is it all about the same amount that goes to government? And
no, they're very different. The sable are one of my more expensive animals. Buffalo are bread and butter, roughly $2,000 for a license fee, right down to the hogs, which is a couple of hundred.
Every single animal that occurs here helps pay for your anti-poaching.
Absolutely. And you know, this is giving animals a value.
So basically the main difference between poaching and hunting, I mean, it's a question you and I both asked.
Yeah.
I think would be fair to say the sustainable, ethical offtake versus indiscriminate killing, right?
Our quotas are scientifically set every year. A wildlife survey is conducted, and then a percentage is given back to take off. And in virtually every case, it's way below 1% of the total population. Last year, 29 metric tons of meat was delivered to the local community.
Wow, that's nearly 50,000 pounds.
Yeah, and it's distributed equally to everyone. Ivan, please understand, there's two types of poaching. There's subsistence poaching and there's commercial poaching. The commercial poachers come in here, they slaughter as many animals as they can, and they take them back to sell the meat.
Okay, and the subsistence guy?
It's purely for home use.
Yeah. And I suppose it's probably difficult to stop that guy trying to feed his family.
It is, but he doesn't have to anymore. We've given the meat to do that. So now all of a sudden everyone sees a value in animals.
Cool. Well, let me go and get with your team and see what's happening.
Perfect.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So, Mfana, how many people in your team?
I have 22 in my team. And every day I brief him. I have to check him some boots. They have the full uniform. They have the handcuffs. No one smelling alcohol. Everyone, they must be neat. All of them is coming from community.
What kind of guns are the poachers using, Mfana?
No, they were not using the gun. They were just using the traps and the snare.
And Mfana, where do you find most of the poachers are coming from?
Most of the poachers we find in the boundary because there is no poachers in the community.
Okay, so because of the meat drop, eh?
Yes. And now it's the time for the going patrol with the helicopter.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Let's go.
So these patrols you do most mornings, eh, Mark? But basically what we do is we try and get out nice and early in the morning. We want to pick up the plumes of smoke from the smoking fires that the poachers use to smoke their meat before the wind gets up. So, yeah, not cool. The earlier the better. So basically, Ivan, what we try and do is we try and coordinate the helicopter in the air with a motorbike unit on the ground or the guys doing a foot patrol. And we have comms between the helicopter and the ground, or like this morning, they'll be deployed as soon as we go back because we're doing an area that's relatively close.
Okay, perfect. Man, this forest is beautiful, eh?
Yeah, I know, it certainly is. And as you see, we're going down towards the tropical savanna and then onto the floodplains, which is where there's a high concentration of animals. Actually, Ivan, have a look over there.
Yeah.
2 o'clock position.
Yeah.
You see that haze of smoke over the trees there?
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you there'll be a camp there. Let me just get a mark on my GPS. That'll be about 2 miles ahead. Okay, let's break off so we don't spook the poachers.
Perfect. Well, we've just seen some smoke, but rather than fly right over the poacher camp or the potential poacher camp and spook them, there's no way to catch them from the helicopter. We're on our way back. Mark put it into the GPS. We're on our way back to give those coordinates to Mfana, and I'm going to jump on the motorbikes with them and go and see what we can find. Come.
Stop here and then let's walk. Maybe we'll see if we can find the poachers there in front.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, it's about 100 meters to get to the fire.
Okay.
So let's walk slowly.
Fire must be really, really close. I can really smell it.
This is just a family. So what they've got here is some tracks, but you can see that there's some little kids here. And so it's obviously just a family that's traveling through the bush here. They made a fire probably to cook or to keep warm. What we're actually looking for is, if this was a poacher's camp, there'd be smoking rats for meat, and that's how they're gonna be detected early in the morning. So.
Okay, again, let's carry on with our patrol.
Okay, perfect.
There's some bicycle track here, crossing the road.
We've got a bicycle track here. They took a little minute to see the human tracks around it, but it's going in this direction. Then Mfana tells me there's not supposed to be any people in this area. So now we follow the track.
No. I mean, in the edge of this road here, there's one big pen. Let's go and have a look there.
Okay.
Because sometimes the poachers, they don't want to walk into the road. You're just crossing the road as we see the tracks of bicycles crossing the road.
Okay.
So let's go and check around the pen and see what we won't see any fresh tracks there.
Okay. Okay, so we go this way.
Yes, let's go down there to the pen. Just go into the pen. We will work in the edge of the pen into the bush.
Okay. And we're looking for tracks. We're looking for a sign that an animal might have dragged something into the bush. The guys are physically looking for sign of the poachers themselves, their traps. This is exactly the kind of place where poachers would put their traps.
He's told his guys to just stay back. We're gonna just advance really carefully. This is the reality of meat poaching right here. You know, you look at something like this and it's just such a waste. Young bull. He hasn't even bred yet. Just a totally unsustainable use of wildlife. The reality is a lot of the animals that get caught like this get wasted. The snares are forgotten and never found. An animal like this might just be completely wasted, just dies for no reason at all. The wildlife doesn't deserve this.
There's more wire here. Let's go and have a look. Follow the tracks of the wire.
Okay. What do we do with this?
You can just leave it here for now. We won't touch it. But let's go and find more.
Okay.
There's wire here. But let's leave it because it's gonna move it away. Let's get it away. You see this stick here?
Yeah.
It's gin trap here.
Oh, look here, look here, look here.
Yeah, it's somewhere here.
They don't want to set off this gin trap because it makes a really loud clank. And if these poachers are close, that'll be an indicator that there's someone right on their heels. So tough to move through this bush really, really quietly and clandestine so the poachers don't know we're here. And yet removing all of the traps that we find. Very often what'll happen is a path like this kind of indicates a direction that they're moving with their traps and that there's often a camp nearby, so we're just moving through the bush and it's just amazing how much traps and snares are here.
One of my guys is calling me. Maybe he finds something.
Oh, he's indicating we've got to go there.
It's a river. We just cut the legs and take the meat. I think the camp is close by here.
So we follow now.
Yes, we'll follow, but I need to just call my other guys to come and help me so that it will be easy to catch him. He's gonna come and remove this gin trap to put it somewhere else.
There's a big transfer of information going on here. Fun is just briefing them, and what he's saying is that we've got to just follow the tracks from here, really slowly, keeping an eye on the front, and I'm going to stay at the back of the line.
Maybe let's go into that tree.
Smoke, smoke. I'm not sure what they're doing. You can just see smoke and movement. I think there's 2 or 3 people here. And as soon as the guys are in position, we're going to walk in from this side and challenge them. They'll never run out into the open. It's too easy for them to get caught. They're going to try and run back into the forest. And hopefully, with the 4 guys on our flanks, we'll be able to catch them.
I will go in that side. You can go in this side. As you get into those branches lying down, I will make it a nose as I go. And then you just jump, run this side. Okay. Run.
Let me try to catch them, eh?
Try to catch him.
Alright. You ready, Sean?
Hey, hey!
Come. Bamba. Fagalo hen.
Ah, njani? Nangu. Buya na yena.
They say there's just 2 of them. You just ask them, what have they got here? How much wire snares? How many gin traps? Well, there's 2 guys here. I'm not sure if there's any others. We certainly didn't miss any. This was all that was in the camp. Now we're going to go into the camp and see whatever sign there's there. See if we can find any indicators that there were more, or possibly this was all that was here. It's the reedbuck, eh? This is definitely the reedbuck from the trap. You can see it's missing a leg. Young ram. Bicycle full of snares. Two people sleeping here.
Just 2 people.
Smoking fire, a little bit of food next to the fire. There's a lot of ash here, a lot of indicators that this is a very commonly used place. You can see all the palm leaves that they've got above them. Such a basic little camp, but so effective, very difficult to find if you're not getting led in here. I think maybe somebody's taken some meat to the market. Eh?
Yes. For sure.
Sometimes just catching one little group like this is not enough, but I will say this, it is one less group. Nobody can blame somebody for poaching to feed their family. Yet what you see here is the work of commercial poachers. With the distribution of free meat that is a result, a byproduct of the trophy hunting, there's no need for the subsistence poaching. It's an interesting balance how, with correctly managed quotas and careful sustainable offtake, supports the anti-poaching teams, that in turn protects this giant ecosystem absolutely full of wildlife. As the anti-poaching teams are better funded, they grow, and hopefully in time we won't see destruction like this. The hunters' dollars that fuel the anti-poaching teams across Africa, if they were to stop flowing, the anti-poaching teams would cease to exist, and it wouldn't be very long until every single animal has been poached out of existence. And that's the reality of this, the grim reality. Victories like this are bittersweet. Through the skills, bravery and hard work of Mfana and his team, one pocket of the African wilderness is safer today. But with the demand for meat ever growing, the work of the Zambezi Delta Safari's anti-poaching team is far from over. I leave Mozambique encouraged by the innovative efforts of Mark Haldane and the proven strength of the hunting model he's implemented in Kutada 11. Hunters provide financial resources for anti-poaching initiatives.